afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's Monday. You know what that means. We are live in I can't say that. SAF1 Esports action. This week is the penultimate round of the championship coming from Brazil. And hopefully we're going to get a good fight today between Bakit and Trav. They are locked in a battle, which they have been for most of the season, for the championship, and I've made a boo-boo. Sorry. Took me 20 weeks. But anyhow, I'll go through the standings real quick, because there's going to be a lot of action happening elsewhere. Trav leads with 401, Makit is second with 378, Nadim a distant third now on 286 despite his upturn in form lately. Just go on board with Makit actually, as he's the one that needs to win this race and hope Trav doesn't. Then you have Phantom fourth with 279, Matters fifth with 256, though I don't see him tonight, so that's a shame. And you have Quintin 249 in the car that he's driving, the Mercedes there. Knight in 7th with 229, although I don't see him either. There. Ray 10th with 190 points. Behind the Renault of Matty with 199, and then you have Calvin on 108. Eugene 69, Vino 66, Dukes 53, Henrik 43, Josh 41, Risky 21. Being on 17, Brandon 16, G-Man 12, and no further scorers to mention. However, the constructors is also going down to the wire. Even if one's sealed today, I don't think the other can be. Guess it depends on the finishing order, but for the moment, you have Williams at the top with 656. Mercedes in second with 627, Renault third with 599. Despite leading the drivers, there's been a lot of teams taking points off each other in the midfield, and that shows with that. And then you have AlphaTauri in fourth with 497, Racing Point 409 in fifth, Alfa Romeo sixth with 360, 2 points ahead of Red Bull in seventh. And then you have McLaren in 8th with 157, 4 ahead of Ferrari, and Haas 124, still bringing up the rear, but ever so slightly coming back into it. So yeah, that was Nadim won last week, which moved him into P3. Trav took P2 in the end and opened the gap a little bit more, but Makit should have won the race, got a penalty in the final lap which dropped him to P3, and that's really where the advantage lies for Trav there, as Makit is 106.7 in provisional pole position, as he's just gone quickest out of everyone, but he's beaten by his title rival there, Trav, with a couple of tenths to find. And fastest lap point went to Trav as well last week, so that helped. There weren't really many things to... Oh, that's the wrong server. There we go. There weren't many things that affected the finishing order last week, so that's always good to see, and let's hope that they have another clean week this week, especially those in the championship fights. And it's quite emotional to be in Brazil. It's such a classic track with many memories, and one of those where loads of champions have been crowned here. Because in the annals of history, this track was the final round of the season for a long while. After Australia moved from Adelaide to Melbourne, this became the final, and many championship battles. You remember Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa 2008. Of course, the year before, Kimi Raikkonen won by a point because McLaren couldn't decide what to do with their drivers. And yeah, let's just have a look at Zardi, who's about to start a lap as he's coming around Young Hao now. Yeah, I've always said I only know the names of corners I've crashed at, and I've just given you a corner name, so that tells you exactly what I think of this track. It's one of my favourites to drive, one of my favourites to watch, and let's see what Zardi can do. Can he improve on the grid? A little bit messy through turns 1 and 2, but sometimes you have to be to keep it clean. But it wasn't the best line, but we'll see what he does at the end of sector 1 as Brandon's lost it. A pit entry by the look of it, pit exit even. Or turn 1. Anyway, he's no longer in the session, but that's a shame for him. But Zardi is still on a lap, although sorry, a bit of a crumb there. Zardi's probably not going to go quickest overall here with this lap. It's a little bit untidy in some places, but he is up on his personal best so far, so it could well be up there, but I wouldn't expect it to be provisional pole. But we are coming around Young Hao now, and it's just how wide do you go, how late do you take the brakes into turn 1, presumably for the race, which is a very good overtaking opportunity there. You can go side by side through there, but you have to be on it. And let's have a look at Zardi's teammate now, who's in the other car of the Racing Point team. Buffett Laps stays left, and I strongly believe that is the best line to go because it will save you the most amount of time, but he doesn't quite improve his time. Sector 3 was a bit of a, I think I know where I lost that, through Young Hao possibly, or maybe the left-hander before Young Hao. If you get that a little bit wrong, you run a bit wide and that takes all your speed off. But let's watch Grimjaw now, as he's yet to set a lap, but he's about to start a flying lap in the AlphaTauri this week. Just a little preview of what could be to come for him next season. And through turn 1, can he keep it clean through 2 and 3? Yes, he can. Use all the curb you can there. That's good, and then open the DRS down into 4. Brake just, I was going to say, just after the 75 metre ball, but there isn't one. You have to imagine that it's there. And then you lift slightly through here and you shift down as well possibly, and then a heavy braking zone through there. Then you get nicely on the power, but not too much because you have a little bit of a banking corner now coming up, which can throw the car all over the place. There's traffic ahead. I don't think they will hold him up too much. They will know he's there. And yep, he's nailing this lap so far. There you go, traffic gets nicely out of the way. Good to see for a championship leader that he's got awareness to, and Xander as well out the way. Beautiful stuff. And let's just see him go around the final corner and take his line down to finish his lap. He stays not as left as the others, but he goes P6 with a 107.1. That's promising for this guy, and like I said, it's all about what could be potentially to come for him next season. I'm pretty sure that's what the plan is. Ooh. And our Trav's teammate is improving, so let's just stay on board with him. Although this is a little bit of a tricky area of the track here. You start to be more familiar now as you take the final corners quite nicely through Young Hao. And then you just accelerate to the line and try and breathe in a little bit if you can, just to help with the body weight spread and the aerodynamics, as that goes P7. About 8 tenths slower than his teammate, and that's not too bad. Xander's backed off a little bit there, just either made a mistake or just doesn't feel comfortable, or But he didn't invalidate, so that's always a good sign. He's just possibly recharging the ERS to go again. Oil box for new tyres. We'll just stay on board with him and see if he's going to go for another lap or not. Looks like he's going to go for it, so let's stay on board with him as he comes down into turn 1. Nicely on the brakes and squeezes it in there. Now can he keep it clean through to just about, yes. And then you open the DRS. Down into 4. 75 meters ish. Some people will brake a bit later and get away with it, some people won't, depending on their setups, but here comes the lift. It goes around this double right hand apex and then down, and he's invalidated there on the exit curb, which is very easy to do, and that is such a cruel thing to happen, but he's gonna have a chance to go again later on in the session, so that is, I guess, the bonus out of that. And Eugene is in the other AlphaTauri. What can he do? Is he gonna complete the lap? Is he gonna go in? Yes, he's gonna box. He's doing it again. It's Bahrain all over again. Phantom's on an outlap, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for it this time. So let's just have a look and see his line around the Young Hao, and yes, he's definitely keeping wide enough. So let's stay on board. I forgot the word stay there for a second. Oof. It's been a long season for some of these drivers, and that's not going to help. Invalidate at turn 1. That's always the danger. But I think it looks deceptive. It looks deceptive and is very much trickier than it looks. But then again, it's not that difficult either. It's a trickier corner than it is difficult, just for line and getting your turn in before correct. I think if you get turn 1 right, you tend to get 2, 3 right. If you get 1 slightly wrong, then you try to overcompensate through 2. Well, this is how you're supposed to do it, possibly. There you go. And you open the DRS, and that should help you down towards the braking zone. But it doesn't. He's slightly slower on this occasion, but there's plenty of time to get that small amount of time back. Could be the case of just holding it slightly on the exit for slightly longer, just to get a little bit more traction in a straight line, but we'll see what he does through sector 2. He could have just a little bit more windy this sector, so hopefully he can win it back. And let's see, that car gets nicely out of the way. Zardi is out of the session 2. I think that's a pit lane retirement, so here comes Viking. I didn't see sector 2 split. I was checking to see where the retirement was, and let's see what he does, as he's just got the line to go. DRS wide open, and he improved his time but not position. Let's have a look at Hamrick, who's not set a lap time yet, the only driver out there yet to do so, but he is about to start a flying lap. The beauty of this track is it's so short that if you do blow 1 lap, you should have an opportunity for 2 flying laps, depending on your fuel load, especially around here. But let's stay on board with Hamrick, as he's going to take us on a quick lap around this track. Although there is traffic just ahead of him, I don't know if that's going to play with his vision a little bit. I don't think it does, but it seems to have helped in a way. He's tidied up the exit through the corners there, and let's see what his sector 1 time reads at. Well, 17.0. I don't know what that is compared to everybody else, as that's the first time he's set a time through there, so we're just going to have to use our eyes and think it's going to be good. But I'd say top 5 at this stage, but we'll see what he does through sector 2. Of course, the other way to check is if it's purple, but I don't think you'll get that, as he's never set a time yet, as there's people lifting off all over the track, so that could prove costly if he would to encounter one of those, but I think he's gonna be okay. Just about as everyone ahead of him is now on the straight, so he might give his teammate a little bit of a toll there, but let's see what he can do as he comes around the final corners, opens the DRS and picks his line and goes across it. 108.3, that's not a great lap, I don't know why, but anyway, let's go and look at somebody else. The Dean's just come out, I think, or finished a lap anyway. Yeah, I think he's finished a lap. Yeah, he's invalidated, okay. But as I say, it is such a short lap here that you do have the most opportunity to go again. Unlike tracks such as Belgium or Singapore, if you invalidate in turn 1, it's a long way back. And Grimjaw is done for the session, satisfied with his pace. That could be a good time, and that could give him an excellent opportunity to put Neil there in DRS. Does that mean he has to open himself as he gets to the point? Now he's opened his rear wing. Now he was purple through sector 2. What's he gonna have? No, he didn't improve in the end. Thought he was going to, but he didn't, and he's 12 thousandths off the, well, 5th place. I was going to say off the 3rd row, but he's still on it. Phantom is not going to improve. Dukester may go again. I think he will be, yes. Did invalidate his last lap, but this is it now. People are coming on to their final laps with 4 seconds to go. Matt's not going to make it, so he is done. He's not going to be starting any higher than 12th. As it turns out, he won't be starting any lower either. Looks like Dukester's on a lap though. Let's see if anyone else is further around. Quintin is not going to go again. Mackett is on a lap, I think. Trav is not. So he thinks he's got pole position. Mackett could find 2 tenths to rob it from him, but let's see. Purple through sector 2, this could be close. That is the 2 tenths right there through there. And let's see if he gets the jump into pole position. Can he go quicker? Careful not to invalidate there. Does he? No, he does not. 5,000 short. That's got to be gut wrenching. But Trav gets away with pole position here, I think. Yeah, well, gets away with that. I don't think that's the right turn of phrase, but Trav does take pole position just about. And then Nadeem is in 3rd, 2 tenths behind them. And then Quintin is a little bit of time behind him, and etc. There's a little bit of time between people. Look at that, 5 thousandths between 1st and 2nd. The front row is very close. They have been all season, and I think it's all going to depend on who is going to get the better getaway off of the line. And is there going to be intermediate conditions? Is there going to be wet tyres used today? I don't know yet. But anyhow, let's get back to round up the grid. You got Grimjaw in 5th. That's a very good performance from him. Neil 6th as well. I think some of these guys are on a see what they can do for next year kind of deal. The Phantom is 7th. Duke Zardi, Eugene rounding out the top 10. And free choice of tyre for Don, Matt in the Renault, Xander, Viking, Hamrick and Brandon. That was a very fast and furious qualifying session, wasn't it? And the race is going to be just as fast and just as furious, and hopefully twice as dramatic. Such a great track. I love it here. Can we do Brazil every week? Or every other week? Because there are some other tracks I'd like to do, but anyway. Just imagine that. Go to Brazil, then Canada, then Brazil, then Silverstone, then Brazil, then Italy, then Brazil for real, and then finish the season off at, yeah, that's right, Brazil. Sorry, I digressed there. I'm just wondering, yeah, it does look a little bit overcast, a little bit of blue sky peeking through, but it's not the best conditions, so that could be playing into the hands of the leaders. But remember, points for the top 15 here, and with 30 points for a win. Mackett needs a win, and he needs Trav to, I guess, not score would be great, but a very limited points, like outside the top 11, I think, would be the good result for him. But yeah, Mackett would need that to happen, but that is a long way away and very... Why can't you remember the settings? What is wrong with you? Surely EA going to make it better. I say that because it's EA, it's never going to happen, is it? No penalties yet, but mediums for Xander, Viking and Brandon, and softs for everybody else, including Knowles, inside the top 10, as you may expect. So yeah, it's an interesting call. 11th, you might as well stick with the leader strategy. Of course, you are going to get a little bit more tyre life at the start because yours are fresh and these were qualified on, but having said that, if you're 13th and down, definitely go for the medium. So it's going to be interesting to see what Hamrick can do from 15th. He needs to get past Xander and Viking. I don't know how easy they are to overtake. And then he's got to get past Matt as well. And I think at that point it's anyone's guess who's going to do what. But let's leave it on there. And here we go. And I've been rambling for so long, they've almost finished their formation lap. Trav just getting a little bit of final temperature into those tyres, and Mackett is close, well, not close, too close behind, but there you go. Trav realised what he'd done and calmed down a little bit, and at some point shortly, think about now, you're going to see all the cars form up one by one, almost as if they were going onto the arc. Because when it rains in Brazil, it absolutely teams down. That's why I mentioned the arc. It's a bit of a strange reference, but I'll go with it. Anyhow, let's go back and see how long they're going to be. Not too long at all. Brandon is just pulling up to his grid slot in a few seconds or moments. And I think you want to be on the inside into turn 2, so yeah, Trav's in the best position here, but Mackett could have a good start, and it's not an overly long run either for turn 1, so let's just see what we have as 5 lights, and they're away in Brazil, and let's see who comes into turn 1. In the lead you have Mackett and Brandon and someone in the pit lane apparently. That was weird, but Mackett just about squeezes through and leads through turn 1, and that is exactly what he needed to do. But can he keep it there? There's a safety car already. I have no idea what's happened there. Hamrick hasn't got away at all by the look of it. That's unfortunate. So Mackett did what he needed to do, but unfortunately he won't be able to make up much of a lead because the safety car has happened immediately. Again, immediately. And that is all kinds of drama brewing here at the Interlagos track in Brazil. And let's just see if any of these leaders stay with what they're doing, because I think it's probably the right thing to do to stay out if you're leading, but if you're not leading, you could possibly go for the hard tyre just to try something different. But Neil in 4th place there, I don't know what he's going to do. Let's have a look. He thought about it. I think he's trying to I think he got the effect further on down the field, but Zard is not falling for it. He wasn't faking, he's going for it. He's going for a change, and let's just see what he's got to be put on. And that speeding in the pit lane is not got to please some of these drivers, but it is a very tricky pit lane. He has gone for the hard tyres, so there you go. Watch out for him later on. But back at the front, Mackett is still behind the safety car, and I'm just hoping I think next lap it should be in. I don't think it'll be in this lap because everyone's out of sequence. There's a party in the pit lane going on. Look at all these people in the pits already. You have Zardy, Rabico, Eugene, Matt, Xander, Viking and Grimjaw all in the pits. Well, Zardy is now out on fresh tyres, as is Rabico, but he has got a speeding penalty there. But he's on the hard tyres, so providing he doesn't need to stop again, which if conditions stay as they are, he won't, that will just get added on. But that's a surefire way to get yourself a penalty in the race as well. You need to calm down a little bit. I know the hards are tricky to switch on, but that's not going to help them. Xander down in 13th. I'm sure he didn't envisage being down there, but he is on the right tyre when the safety car goes in to quickly make his way through the field yet again. But it's frustrating for some of these drivers that they try to build a lead and then the safety car comes out. It's happened all season, and of course with the rule sets that's the thing that happens. But I expect it to be in this lap. O'Neill decides to go in now, which I don't know why he didn't pit the last lap. Previous lap would have been better to do that, but anyway, maybe he just wanted to get a sniff of that. Yeah, that he may well be occupying next season. I have no idea, but is he gonna? I mean, he should come out in front of Viking there. The safety car is just very slow speed, so yeah, he'll be more than comfortable there. Viking is not even around turn 1 and 2, and Neil is out of the pit lane, so that is a decent stop for him. He should go very well in the second half of this race. May need to pit again, but that's to be decided at the moment. I'm going to jump back up front now because I've got a feeling we're going to see the safety car lights go off very shortly, and as soon as we do that we will be racing again. Of course, DRS is not active in the race yet. Ordinarily it would be now, but they haven't had 2 green flag laps. The lights are still on. There you go, they're off now. Mackie was expecting that. Unfortunately, there's not much you can really do when that happens. You pretty much have to stop on track, and that is quite annoying and just not proper. You need more notice than this so you could get people away quicker and safer, but it's now going to be down on Maggie to see what kind of... Is he going to go yet? He is, and Travis is ready for it. Nadine not quite so ready, but has managed to just react in time to keep there, and we are green flag racing again, and in 2 laps time we should have DRS, and Mackett manages to keep the lead and keep it clean through there. Let's have a quick look behind and see what's going on. I don't think anyone had an incident on the restart. I didn't see anybody work flying, but let's have a quick check through the field. Matt is going to go for an overtake. He's taken to the grass to make it do, and I don't know what is happening there, but Don's all over the place. I think that's just unfortunate. There's a yellow flag, but that shouldn't lead to anything other than that, as he's recovered himself off the spin, and unfortunately he's down at the back in 15th, the last points paying position. I don't know what happened to Hamrick. It's like he didn't get off the line. Looks like he took the wrong time to go for a bathroom break. But Trav is all over the back of Mackett, but can Mackett keep him there? Can Nadeem do anything about this? Because Nadeem, if you go back earlier on the season, Nadeem was right with these in the title fight, but he's missed too many races in the second half and he's fallen away from contention. But Mackett is the quickest man on track, but Nadeem just set the quickest sector 3 that I could say, so Travis not going to get it all his own way today, and that is fantastic to think about at the moment. But Mackett, having said that, is being hounded by the championship leader and reigning champion Trav, so can he make it back-to-back championships? If Conrad was still here, which he's not, this could be a very different outcome as well, but unfortunately his patience got tested one too many times and he left, so it's a shame that that happens, but I completely understand. But here comes Trav anyway, trying to pressurise Mackett into making a mistake, trying to just try slightly different things to get a little bit closer, and we're going to go over the line, and that should see DRS activated. I feel like I'm on Robot Wars. And there's a yellow flag there. Mackett goes quick kiss. I don't know what is going on. The yellow flag is for Eugene, who's had some sort of spin, but he's got going again, no damage, so doesn't pit, and go back to the battle for the championship. I've got a feeling we're going to be looking at these two quite a lot today, because this is the championship battle right here. Trav can finish second, but Mackett would prefer it if he didn't. But if Mackett doesn't win, then there's points that'll happen for that. I'll get the permutations back to you very shortly when I find my piece of paper with them all written down. See, I do write things down in this league. Let's just find them. Okay, so you have 30 points for a winner and 26 for second place, so that would serve Mackett quite nicely if he could do that, but with the gap, as I said in qualifying, the gap is it's 23 points between them, so well, Xander's out of this race. I didn't see what happened now. I was checking the permutations, but there's a yellow flag, and I'm not even sure if that's a legal overtake. There's a yellow flag, but you shouldn't be overtaking under the yellow flags, but the game sometimes doesn't acknowledge it, and Mackett is back down the inside, but yellow flag in Sector 1, is that legal? They are side by side now. It's not a place. Come on, you're not Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton. Give yourself some space, lads, come on. Yellow flag in Sector 2, I don't know what that's about either. But yes, with the gap being what it is, Mackett needs to win and Trav needs to, I don't know, finish 13th or something, to even have more than a 20% chance next week. If Mackett does win, that's great for him, but I'm not sure there'll be enough points left for him, but we'll work on that later. For now, let's just enjoy the racing, just enjoy this magnificent racetrack, and if you ever try to take it away from us, FIA, I will slap you right in the face. What are you thinking, moving the Brazilian Grand Prix from here? Stupid decision. Anyway, Brandon's been under pressure from Quintin. Let's have a quick look at this, and let's hope that I'm not a commentator's curse. There's a 3-car battle going on here, and you can see Zardi is all over the back of this battle too. And a little bit of grass there for Brandon. That could compromise his brakes for this corner, but it looks like he's got round pretty much okay, and Quintin's, if anything's, a little bit further back than he was before, but he's going to start to come back at him now around Young Hao and down into turn 1. That is a predominant position for an overtake, and let's just see if Zardi can try and go for both of them. He is closer to Quintin than Quintin is to Brandon after that corner, but they're all over the place, and this is brilliant. And Mackett is still defending, and Trav just sets the quickest lap of the race, so you can tell you exactly how much he wants it. And here we go, Zardi into turn 1, doesn't quite have enough track, another 50 metres perhaps he would have gone for it, but he's decided to try again another time, and that is something you don't see enough of, quite frankly. Sometimes drivers will try and force a move just because they think they should, and that means Quintin goes defensive into turn 4. Yellow flag, I don't know why there's another yellow flag. What is going on at the back? Eugene's had a moment there, but I don't see any bodywork flying off, but Mackett is still in the lead from Trav. He still can't shake him off, he still can't get out of that 1 second window. And this is going to be key as to who pits first between these two, and if Nadine can do anything at all to, I don't know, As I said, he was in this battle earlier on in the season, but unfortunately since about the midpoint he's just had a few things he needs to take care of, didn't race in a few weeks, and he's just fell out of contention. But he's still got the speed, as you saw in his recent performances. He's still capable of getting a podium, and his teammate is right behind him as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to blink first out of these two. Is the undercut more powerful here? Is the overcut worth it? Are they going to pit at the same time? Then it's just going to be a battle of the pit crews. If you'll excuse me getting tongue-tied, I'm just so excited for this race, and that's not a good message you want to see, but I can make that go away just by plugging in this little cable. And Eugene is out. I don't know what has happened. There's a yellow flag and a full-course safety car, so of course that probably means that everyone will be interchanged tyres. How come with USBs, no matter which way around you put it the first time, it's always the wrong way? I think Mackett may well be in. It's lap 10. That's Brandon getting a naughty there for speeding under the safety car. It's a full safety car, not a virtual, so it's going to be interesting to see what Mackett and Trav do. I mean, what would you do if you were in this position? I would probably do the opposite to the guy in front of me. And it looks like they're all doing the same thing, which makes sense given that it's a full course safety car and the Williams are going to double stack here. That could go wrong for Phantom. He's been overtaken into the pit lane. Well, that'll help. Dukes is just... That is... you don't see many overtakes into the pit lane, but that could be key come the end of the race. Neil pitted a few laps into the race, so he's now net P1. He's stopped. Grimjaw second, Viking third, Mackett, Trav, Nadeem and Brandon. Everyone that's come in now is on the hards, except Phantom, I think, has gone to the mediums. And yeah, this is going to shake things up, no problem. Let's just have a quick math lesson. 20 points for fourth, so that wouldn't do Mackett any good at all. Although fifth is 18 points, and that wouldn't really help him either. What he'd want is quite a bit better than that, but he's... Oh, this race has got everything you need. Let's just work out the points now, as it stands. Yep, that would get him... See, of course, if Mackett finishes in fourth place and Trav doesn't finish at all, that would get him to within a few points. That's okay, but the fact that Trav is just one place behind him, it doesn't really matter what Mackett does, because he's still 23 points behind, and the only way to get a 23 point swing here is Mackett to win and Trav comes 13th. So it's possible, but yeah, I wouldn't... I mean, it's... Oh, it's getting exciting. We are a third of the way through this race, which of course means there are 2/3 still to do. And would just like to say it is 7:45 in South African time, 7:45 in Europe. It's also 7:45 in Central European time, and it is 7:45 something else in many other parts of the world. But yeah, this race is not over yet. Of course, the safety car's helping, but there's still going to be a lot of drama to come. And there's some of the permutations there. Mackett needs to win. Trav needs to finish. But Trav will be hoping that... No, wait. Mackett will be hoping that Trav finishes around where I said, if he finishes 13th now, that's the last guaranteed position. Anyhow, there would be points for the top 15, but for the 23 point swing that Mackett needs, that would need to happen. And at the moment, it doesn't look as though Trav wants to do any of this, as we are going to get started again very shortly. Safety car is in this lap, and how could Neil get them away? it's just a shame that you get so little warning coming into Young Hao. There's really nothing you can do until the safety car's decided it's in. And so if you go too soon, the game slows you down anyway. And if you go too late, then you get done into turn 1. Let's talk of which, Nils had a decent start, and pit window is now open, but I think a lot of people will be ignoring that message now, as Viking struggled to make turn 1, but Trav has got past Mackie. I don't know what happened there, but Trav has just taken a giant leap towards the proverbial championship, but this race is nowhere near over yet, and Trav is just solidifying his position at the moment. But would 4th place do it? It might. I've not a mathematician that might do it, but we'll see later on. I wish I had an abacus with me, but I don't know what happened. But Mackie is down in P5, and that's not good enough for him today, nor in the championship. So we're going to need to see something more from him, and I'm sure we'll get that. But just seemed to be like the previous restart. He just, I don't know, just couldn't get the tyres to the operating window that he needed quick enough, and it was unfortunate that Trav seemed to be able to do that to his. But of course you have 3 guys up front that have never been in this position in this division before, so we're going to see how they cope with the pressure, being hassled by the champions elect, either Trav or Mackie. It is going to be insane, the pressure that these guys are feeling, but they're right now just chilling, focusing on their own race, as you have Grimjaw on the back of Neil there. There's got a little bit of a gap between Viking, who's struggled since the restart, and is soon going to be passed by Trav and Mackie by the look of it, such as the amount of time he's struggling. But let's stick on board with this one for now. Grimjaw, can he get past it? I think he's going to be trying to get past into turn 1. There's no DRS on this lap, of course, because we've had a second full course safety car, so you need to do 2 complete laps after that has been in for the DRS to be reactivated. There's all sorts of movement going on in the background, but I think Neil's done enough to protect his position into turn 1. But can Viking keep Trav and Mackie behind? DRS is now enabled, but they won't get to use it until the next time around. Trav goes a little bit in the middle of the road, which is a little bit annoying for Mackie behind. He was trying to attack Viking and defend from Mackie. He just stuck the car in the middle of the road, which is fine. He didn't move. It's just a little bit dangerous for the car behind if you have more speed, because there's nowhere for you to go into turn 1. But luckily there was no incident there. That okay, someone's in the pits. Okay, yellow flag. I don't know why. There's a car at the back of the field having an issue. It's the other Haas of Neil, who was in the lead a few moments ago, but now he's all the way back down. Well, he was changing for the lead, I should say. He wasn't actually in the lead, but that is... My eyes are playing tricks. I thought Trav had left for a second then. I thought, oh no. That's just what the championship leader needs. Mackie's going to get fed up with seeing the gearbox of this racing point, and he's going to try and get past. He does have DRS now to aid his assistance, and I think Viking's just going to let him through. There you go. Doesn't fight it, just go defensive and just try to... Oh, Nadim's got through there. That's a very good cheeky overtake. Good lad. Didn't even see that as a possibility, and Nadim has stolen 4th place from Viking. Neil's having a visual time. Wouldn't be surprised if he manually retires in the pits. It's all gone wrong very quickly for him, but I think credit to him for now. He's staying there, but Viking and Nadim are not done fighting over this position. But Nadim's like, yes you are. I am keeping this position, my friend. And Grimjaw out in front now. Trav can't get anywhere near him at the moment, but the hards are the worst side to be on at the moment. But 13 lap old mediums are going to start to fall apart pretty soon. So at that point it's just Trav just keeping himself together, keeping his nose clean, and that's not going to help. The pressure from behind, knowing where you are in the race, has just got you a penalty, I think. but he's going to stay out for another lap, although I think Trav is going to try an audacious move into turn 1. He's getting all the overspeed through the DRS, but Mackett has the fastest lap of the race, and Grimjaw just gets out of the way. That's a good boy. Very well done. He knows he's through in the title fight. He's not going to hold either one of them up. That is excellent to see. And I still can't get over that overtake from Nadim. I didn't even see him on the screen, and all of a sudden he just launched. And I thought it was Mackett going wide, but it wasn't. It was Nadim, and well, he didn't go wide. He just locked up a little bit, but he got it stopped and he made the overtake move. Dukes is up into P5. He hasn't been this high up for a while, so this will do him the world of good. He's quite low down in the driver's standings, but I'm sure he'll be more than thrilled with his performance so far today. But Mackett and Trav are still going at it, and this time it's Mackett trying to put all the pressure on Trav, who led the early going, but now Trav is in the lead. Sorry about that. Technical issue again. The commentator broke there. That's what happened. But yeah, Trav was in the lead in Singapore and didn't see it through. So it's possible if Mackett can put enough pressure on Trav. The barrier has someone's name on it, and I don't wish to see that. But if it does happen, Mackett would be relieved with that. And then of course he'd have to win the race, get a fastest lap to be within a chance of winning the championship next time out in the season finale. But I'm just not going to focus on points right now. I'm just trying to focus on this battle as Mackett sets another fastest lap, and Trav moved a little bit too late there, I think. I don't know. I mean, it's not... It wasn't super late, but I think he could have committed to that line a little bit earlier, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see if he does that again. Brandon is now on the softs. He's going to have a little bit of fun. Fastest lap points for inside the top 10 only here. So that's what Mackett was trying to get. Win the race, complete the race, fastest lap, and possibly driver of the day too. Would be worth a point, I think. But yeah, it's Phantom and Viking have switched positions down in P6. But we are looking at the endless battle between Trav and Mackett. I'm going to get a good look at Trav this time, just to see if it was my eyes playing tricks on me, or if he did move a little bit too late to prevent the overtake being attempted. But of course, Mackett's not close enough to try it on this occasion. I think he might be saving ERS to go again, but Trav doesn't need to move this time. So yes, it's... We'll see. Mackett's going to give it the full beans at some point. We are 20 laps through of this 36 lap race, so those of you that are good at maths will know we have more than 2 laps to go. "17 laps is the answer, and that is more than 2. You're welcome. But Mackett seems a little bit closer than he has on the previous couple of laps, especially through this. Oh, he's undone all the good work there. Fraction late on the brakes. That's what happens, and that is what he's trying to make Mackett do. But unfortunately, he's done it himself, and you can see how much that cost him. He's 3/10 slower through there, and Travis just about inside the DRS activation window there, so Mackett is going to get that, but he's not going to be able to do anything with it on this occasion. However, will he get it down through 3? We'll see. Will he open it? And he's held it nicely through the Senna S's. Yes, DRS again, so yeah, he's just about close enough, so that mistake has not cost him too much. Well, I think the only thing it did cost him was a chance of an overtake. However, he is quicker on this lap than he has been before, so let's hope that that's the thing to come, and he's just going to keep hounding, putting the pressure on and going quicker and quicker than Trav, and he's got it right this time through there. Tricky corner coming up though, especially when you're trying to push to the guy in front. Make sure you get it nice. Yep, there you go. He learned from his mistake. Didn't make the same mistake 2 laps in a row. That's good to see. But of course, the Constantino effect is playing tricks on me, and I think Trav may well be burning some ERS or fuel here. Because it doesn't look as though Mack has done anything wrong this lap, but he's just nowhere. So either he's in the lower engine mode, or his tyres are just not working as well as he would like. But anyhow, we'll come back to that battle very shortly, see how they're getting on. But now we're going to see Nadim, who may still be dining out on that overtake he did several laps ago when he just threw it and came from out of his shot. I wasn't expecting this at all. He was hoping for more of the same. And I'm kind of surprised that well, there's a little bit of a train falling behind, so let's go and have a look at that. 2 racing points and the Mercedes. Let's have a look. Of course, the constructors' standings are close as well, so the Mercedes will be hoping to get some ground in that too. Because Mercedes are trailing Williams at this stage, but yeah, so that would not change given the standings at the moment, but there's a long way to go in this race. Anything can happen, very usually does. Is Zardi going to get a call? I mean, is Zardi going to get a call from his race engineer that Zardi is faster than you? I don't think it really matters too much, but Voggy made a small mistake there, a little bit sideways off of the curbs through turn 3, and DRS is not going to make much of a difference down this straight. You have to be pretty much on the gearbox of the car in front for that to work out, but Mack has fallen to 1.2 seconds behind Trav, although he doesn't look it. It looks like he's closer than that, but at some part of the track it looks like he's further away than that, so I guess if it does average out, then the second is about right there. But he needs to get a move on very quickly, otherwise Trav is just going to drive into the distance and potentially seal a back-to-back championship. But of course, still a lot of racing still to go today for that to be the case, but I'm sure neither driver will be thinking about that right now. They just know that they have an advantage if they finish ahead of the other driver. The team is through into P3 now. Deuster's at 4th, and that's because Viking is in the pit lane. Quintin up into P8. He's hounding Zardi all the time, but he just can't get quite close enough to make a pass. It's very amazing to watch this track, isn't it? I mean, I'm just keeping it on the clouds. It looks as though it's going to stay dry for now, but you never really know what's about to happen around the corner. Rain could be imminent around this track especially, so it'll be good to see how they deal with the threat of rain if it does indeed become the case. But they are now going lap after lap through, and you're going to have Brandon, Grimjaw, Viking all challenging for the fastest lap at some point, presumably towards the end of the race. Neil on the hards there in P13 is still going to score points today, but I have to go back to this battle. The gap just went under a second very briefly there, but I think that was more to do with the braking zone and Constantino effect more than actual decrease of pace from Trav. There you go, Grimjaw's got it, but yep, extra point for him at the moment if it stands, because he is 10th, and you get it for being in the top 10. Oh, well, Ferrari's had enough of being in 4th place again, a nosebleed, and just his connection didn't like it. Oh no, I know what's happened. Mackett's also gone. That's the load shedding. That's an unfortunate time for Mackett to have that, because he's going to tumble down the field. The Dean won't care about the load shedding. He's just going to try and do what he would usually do in a fight, and let's just hope Mackett can make it back. He does have some time to go though. Dukes was behind him anyway, and the AI of Dukes of pits. I don't know what is going on there, but Phantom also in. The other Ferrari stays out, obviously. Viking and Brandon. I feel so gutted for Mackett right now, honestly. I don't know what to say. If that is the load shedding taking effect, then I expect some stocks and shares going into Ram Solar Renewable Energy that could prevent some of this from happening, and that could not ruin an otherwise fantastic title battle. But our first to third is still 7 points there, so yeah, I think let's just do some quick maths. Oh. Okay, so if Maggett finishes third, he would go to exactly the number of points that Trav is already on, and Trav would move to 4-3-1, and I think that would do it next week. All he needs is a point. So I think it's close to being over, unfortunately. There's just nothing he can do when load shedding happens. It's unfortunate, and I'm sad for Mackett. I'm sad for championship fight. I'm just feel so bad. Feel so bad for him, but unfortunately, yeah, Trav's doing what he needs to do and staying out there, and just he can't concern himself with that. I guess you could treat it as a mechanical failure, like you would see in real life if your contender just engine blows up, which you would see a lot in the 90s, but not so much anymore with these hybrid turbo eras. You just see smoke filling your mirrors. You'd smile, but then you've still got a job to do, and Trav's just got to tell himself he's still got a job to do. Nadeem up into second, Zardi into third. Can Quintin get a much needed podium at the end? I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. It's hard to put into words exactly how gutted Mackett must be with that to happen. But let's just... Right about Mackett's AI car is just being passed by Grimjaw, and Matty will gain a lot of time in the photography laps. Mackett's still going to finish. Well, his AR card's going to finish in the top 13, but that's not really good enough. Oh dear, I think... Let's just see, 13th. I mean, 13th, 3 points. That's not going to help anybody. Yeah. Well, if Trav wins, it's over. Trav will probably know that. 30 points for the win, that will move him to 431. Mackett would only be on 381, so he can't possibly catch next week. So as it stands, you're looking at your back-to-back champion of SAF1 However, there's still a lot of racing to go to sort out the rest of those positions. Let's have a look at penalties, if I can remember. I cannot remember which one to go. It's that one, isn't it? Okay. Viking has 6 seconds, and Neo has the speeding penalty, and just 2 track limit infringements. 1 to Abigail, 1 to Grimjaw. So that is quite surprising considering how tight it is to get right through turns 1 and 2. But let's have a look at this battle as Grimjaw is getting ever so close to Rabico. Here comes the battle, here comes the move. He's going to do it into turn 4. And DRS nicely activated just in time and gets the move done. Held it around the outside as well for style. Trav, pit and give everyone a chance, man. Come on. Be sporting about it. I'm joking. You do what you just got to do, you, man. If you're listening out there, just ignore me. I'm just rambling because I still have a battle to concentrate on now, which is good. Quintin and Zardi for the final podium position. Are we going to get Quintin back on the podium? Are we going to get Zardi on the podium? And that's nearly ended both of them. As I say that, Zardi got that horribly wrong, but good reactions from Quintin to stay out of the contact area, because you know the smallest tap on this game has massive consequences, especially as these guys race with simulation damage. So that could mean the wheel pops off. If I cough, his wheel could fall off, so I'm trying not to do that. But yeah, this battle for the final podium position is as close as you can get without actually being inside the other car at times. You know, around Young Hao again. Can he get a little bit closer into the DRS zone? Can he try and use a different line to confuse the driver in front? Because that's what they're checking, where you go, so they know where to put the car so you can't get past. But if you have a different line, all of a sudden that is going to get in their head. So let's try and use that. You know, when it comes to commentating, I say these things and it sounds like I know what I'm doing, and then I try to do it when I'm driving a car and I make a mess of it. But I would love to see how I fared in a proper race with all these boys. Fairly confident I wouldn't finish 32 laps down, so I'll take that as a win. So if anyone's ever of an exhibition race sometime, I'll jump on and we'll see exactly what happens. But now Grimjaw is reeling himself into the back of this battle we've just been watching on the soft tyres. He could be better placed than anyone to steal that final podium position. Zardi's got a lot of grit in him. Quintin's on the hard tyres. Grimjaw is on the soft tyres. It's quicker, but the tyres may not make it to the end. They should, but it's possible that they don't. So I'm looking forward to finding out who gets the final podium position today, and if anyone does exactly that. 3-second time only for Matt in the other Renault there. It doesn't change much at the moment because he's in no man's land. No one's anyone near him, but if he gets any more of those, then he could lose positions. But Quintin's just having a moment to refresh his ERS and maybe save a little bit of fuel to go on all-out attack in the closing few laps, which we are nearly in. There's 4 laps to go, including this one, but if you've been picky, there's almost 3, as Trav is now going to cross the line to prove my point. There is now 3 laps to go as he crossed the line there, so it's really on now if you're looking for some late drama and some fireworks in the final few stages, you're in the right place on a Monday. Of course, if you're watching a replay, it could be Sunday. I don't know when you watch this, but thank you for watching it at any time. And Quintin gets a little bit tight there and still can't find a way past, but I think it's now going to be down to tyre wear. Is Grimjaw going to get past both of these, or is Soft's going to be durable enough? Quintin's on the durable tyre. He's going to have the grip, he's going to have the performance, but is Zardy's going to fall off completely to let either of these pass? I cannot wait to find out the winner of this battle. Well, Grimjaw does have a penalty, I've remembered. It's not obvious by that black and white flag next to his name, is it? Not at all. But he's... oh, dear me. There you go, just in black and white is 3 seconds. I am stupid sometimes. Zod is all over the back, all over the place as Quintin is getting closer and closer to that gearbox. But talking of closer and closer, here comes Grimjaw too. This is a fascinating battle for the final step on the podium. Trav is so far ahead he could possibly walk to the next Grand Prix from here and still beat them. Anyhow, Neil's just come out of the pits as he's about to be lapped by Nadeem, so he is a lap down, so he has 1 lap to go. Well, anyway, everyone's got at least 1 lap to go. What am I talking about? Dukes' ghost car's just been passed. Mackett's down at 11th. Neil may well get 12, and 12 will give Mackett 4 points. Yeah, it's still not good enough. It's a shame that it had to happen like this. It's a shame, but let's focus on this final step of the podium battle because this is fascinating. We'll deal with the load shedding later. Quintin's just had a little bit of a tap there from behind, but I don't think that was anyone's fault in particular, just the way the cars steer, and the grip is fading for some of these guys, and I don't know what's happened to that car. That sounds horrible all of a sudden. Okay, we're into the final lap and Trav is almost halfway around already. In fact, there he is, about halfway around the lap now. Nadeem is nowhere near, he's just holding on for second, but third place is going to go to either Zardy or Quintin. Or if something major happens, Grimjaw, but he has penalties, so that shouldn't be a thing. So let's just stay on board with Zardy. I think he's going to get it at the moment. There's not many places left for Quintin to try and catch up. Brandon's got a... well, I'm going to have to go on board with Trav as he crosses the final corner. Yes, he crosses the final corner. And he comes around the line very shortly. And he's going to cross the line, and I think he slows down because he knows that he is about to become back-to-back champion. He's going to do some donuts as we see this, and there you go. What a way to finish the race. Sideways donuts, but what a way to celebrate potential back-to-back titles. I think he's done the maths correctly, and he's just wiped out Nadeem as he crosses the line. Zardy, Quintin, who's going to get it? It is Zardy on the podium. Quintin 4th, we'll be happy with that, but Grimjaw drops to 5th. No, he stays 5th, and there's the wreck car of the winner of this race there. He's yeah, it happened, and everyone is now all of a sudden, oh, and everyone is just piling up at the start finish line. Mackett's AI car is going to see this and think, why couldn't you have done that when I was in the race? I mean, it wouldn't change a thing, but at least the fight will go to next week. there's the celebrations of the Renault driver. Who knows? It's just a matter of time. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the permutations here, but Zardi takes that final podium position, as we said. Then you have Quintin, a very good 4th place, 5th for Grimshaw. Matt was 6th from 12th, 7th for Phantom from 7th, 8th from 11th for Rabico. Brandon 16th up to 9th. That's a solid effort. On another day, could have got driver of the day for that alone. Viking 10th and 14th, he's improved too. Neil didn't have such a good time. He started 6th, finished 11th, but still good points would be anyway. Mackett, ouch. And then your non-finishers with Eugene, Sander and Hamrick. And I'm still not sure what happened to Hamrick at the start. I can probably find out if I... Oh, I thought he didn't get off the line. It turns out he had a collision. Okay. But, I don't know. Anyway, whatever happened there was a strange thing to witness, but unfortunately, these things do sometimes happen. I feel flat now, and I feel bad for Mackett, so bad. But I'm sure Trav doesn't. I say that knowing he's joined the lobby and well, the podium part. What am I saying? Just take me somewhere. I need to be shot, I think. There's only a few seconds. There we go. There comes Nadeem. I guess he did want to chat with me after all. He didn't want a week off. I'll start with him because the other guy's not here yet and travelling the race, so that would be wrong. But I'm going to start with Nadeem. You made it again. For a time, I thought you might have decided you didn't want to chat on the Monday. You wanted to do something else with the evening. But yeah, you had a decent race today, and some things fell your way kindly. And yeah, welcome back to the podium. You must be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, it's pretty good the result for me. I think obviously a bit fortunate to get second place with Mackett, good Nick. Yeah, I'm sure Mackett would have easily gotten a second place, but yeah, nonetheless, like we'll take the points. It's good points for us in the constructors. Like we're quite close to wrapping up the constructors now, so hopefully we can wrap it up next week. So that will be the goal for us.
Yeah, it is pretty close to being done. I haven't done the maths on that one yet because I'm too depressed to think about it. I too am sad for Mac, of course, because he was driving brilliantly, but it's just a shame that load shedding was a thing today. But yeah, anyway, next week is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I don't know what to ask you about that. Do you care about that? Are you bothered? Do you practice it?
Yeah, I've actually had decent pace there. Like, I think most people aren't the biggest fans of it, but I don't really mind the track too much. But yeah, of course I'll do a bit of practice because yeah, like we have the constructors championship to hopefully wrap up next week. So yeah, I'll do my best and we'll hopefully fight for the podium and be able to chat to you again next week.
Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing you on track next week. Congrats on your podium today, and well, I will talk to you later. I'm now going to turn my attentions to the race and potential championship winner. You probably won't have wanted to win it that way, but you must be happy with your performance to get the race win today at least.
Yeah, definitely. I felt really bad for Mackett. I definitely think he would have challenged me for the win. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. We all have some bad luck. But yeah, it's been a heck of a season. I know it's not over yet, but yeah, it's good to be on the top step. Yeah.
Yeah, you certainly had a massive battle today, and I was enjoying it between you and Mac. And yeah, I think he definitely would have challenged you towards the end of the race, and it's just a shame that we never got to see that unfold. But you have to do what you have to do, and you did your job perfectly, so you have to be proud of that. But next week, Abu Dhabi, with everything probably wrapped up, just constructors is not really a thing for Renault to get. Are you just going to show up next week and just have a little bit of fun and do something different?
Yeah, I think I might try organize with the top 3 in the championship to maybe organize something, maybe some donuts at the end of the quali session, Nadim. But yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, donuts were on show today as well, and luckily you just about crossed the line before you killed all about 17 cars that finished. So that was good timing. But yeah, I think
I'm not gonna lie, I was quite scared there. Like I legit didn't see him. Like I got like a bit of a shock. I was like, please, let me like at least finish the race.
It was a good battle for majority of the race today. There was always something to look at. So thanks everyone for that, and congratulations to all the finishers. And next week we end the season in style around, well, I don't know if it's possible to do that around Abu Dhabi. It certainly looks pretty, but I will see everybody next week. And remember to check out the sponsors, Ram Solar Renewable Energy, and hopefully that makes load shedding a thing of the past. A good night everybody. Oh, that's the wrong button. Well done.